Hey everybody, Tony D with one last hot take for the evening. Hope you enjoyed the Biden bit. I was working on that for a while. I shot like 4 or 5 of them. I gotta go through and edit them a little more tightly, but I thought it'd just be fun to do. And then I got like a bigger Biden sketch that I want to do maybe this weekend if I get time, which will require more editing. Um, I wanted to cap off the evening with a couple of things. First up, the incident with the trucker. I got more intel on that. It appears that he is not dead, which now the reason I thought he was dead, I didn't just read a newspaper article, but I actually saw the post by the guy who was identified by 4chan as the guy who hit him last. And that guy thought he was dead and thought the cops were coming to arrest him for murder. It turns out it was attempted murder. So even he got taken in by the rumor on the internet, I guess, and thought he killed the guy. It turns out he didn't, which is great. I'm glad the guy's alive. I'm glad to be wrong on that. But this guy basically confessed on online. I mean, it's just amazing what people will do online. I mean, yeah, I act like an idiot to do a comedy sketch, but I try not to. I'm not going to spill my guts out on the internet. Jesus. It seems like a dumb thing to do. It seems like something you should think about long and hard before you do something like that. But man, people love it. I guess there's a certain truth in it when people sort of unburden their souls on the internet, and I guess it's sort of a you know it's real and it resonates with people. But I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I don't think. Maybe if I'd grown up with it, maybe if I had been doing this stuff and started shooting videos when I was 14 and build up a channel, maybe I would, but it just seems like the dumbest thing you can do. But I in some ways I guess I can understand it because people in society today are kind of lonely, and it feels like you have friends when you have videos and people comment and you talk to them and you see them in the comment section all the time. I like to be friendly with the people who comment here. Hi, guys. Thanks for commenting. And it's nice, but, I try to keep it in perspective. I don't want to, think that that's my whole life kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's really great to start to meet people online and talk to them, but you have to be careful, obviously, because you're not actually meeting them in person. I mean, I'm a single guy now. I hit on girls all the time on Tinder or whatever, and and I get nowhere because look at me. But I'm not looking to like pack my bags and go meet someone. That's just, to me, that's just crazy talk. Like, you would call them on the phone maybe first and sort of verify their identity, maybe meet them in a coffee shop in a public place, and take it from there. But it seems like people just get so caught up in the internet. Although I will say I did have an online romance one time with a girl from Canada, and we went back and forth for weeks, and she eventually came down and visited me. Now, up until the point she got off the bus and actually met me in person, I was still kind of like, I wonder who's going to get off the bus. I wonder if this has all been nothing for nothing, right? Like, I got to the bus and I imagined myself, well, maybe I'll just go home alone and this has all been like a put on or whatever. And nope, she actually showed up, and we had a great time. And I went up and I visited her in Toronto, and it was a great time. But you got to be careful on the internet. People are just, they're too quick to love I guess. um, but getting back to what I wanted to talk about initially was, of course, the whole thing with the trucker, and beyond that, tonight, I think the DNCs, if the first night of the DNC is anything like tonight, oh my God. What everybody talked about today following the first night was this cringy video, which I didn't even realize. I kind of like clicked through it a little bit, and it was a video of this 60s song sung by a guy I didn't recognize in a very strange outfit. It kind of had like double capes. And when the capes came down, he kind of looked like he was in a dress, sort of. I don't know. But he was very haughty and pretentious about the whole outfit as he was singing. And then one of the people, Stills, I think it was, actually played the guitar. And I think he wrote the song, or was one of the writers of the song. But it was, it's this ancient song from the 60s that literally only Joe Biden and people my age, our age, I should say, hello, would know. It's like you're trying to connect to the kids, and this is what you do. And then, but at the same time, then you go get interviewed by Cardi B, who does WAP as a song, which isn't white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, in case you don't know. No. But that was a line I think I forgot to do in my Biden sketch, by the way. Damn it. But it's just, and now tonight, they got Cindy McCain, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? What part of this is good? Last night, they had a round table, and what I mean by round table, it was Biden in a room, and then like 5 or 6 screens with different people on them. And one of the screens was, I guess her name's Lightfoot, Lori Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago. Probably hands down one of the worst mayors you could have put up on the screen. She does not, she is, first off, she is terrible. I don't live in Chicago. I've only been to Chicago twice, but I already know, like, Lightfoot is one of the worst mayors ever. Her city is coming apart at the seams. She is just like de Blasio, doing the same kind of nonsense where she's ignoring the riots and criticizing everybody but the riots and herself. And, Chicago has always been a shooting gallery, and it's always had the most gun control. I mean, surprise, surprise, right? When you have the most gun control, that means the fewest amount of normal, law-abiding people have guns, and all the criminals can run amok. So, to put Lori Lightfoot up there, I mean, is there no successful mayor that you have? I guess if you look at LA, Chicago, and New York, and you got to pick out of the 3 of them, you definitely don't want de Blasio. Oh my God, that guy's radioactive politically. Even Cuomo criticized him pretty badly, but they had Cuomo. Cuomo, who, by the way, referred to the virus as the European virus. Nice try, but I don't think anybody's buying that. Are you really trying to sell it as the European virus? Like, what difference does that make, guy who put recovering beer virus patients into nursing homes? Anyhow, it just, what a cluster F. What an absolute cluster F that first night was. And I couldn't even watch it all. I mean, just clicking through it, you just go, what the hell is this? It's so pretentious and haughty, and like, oh, we're the Democrats, and, we're much better people. Kind of, that was the kind of vibe. Well, we're much better people, and you're one of us. I mean, Trump's show is going to be amazing. I mean, every Trump State of the Union or press conference, I mean, he knows how to put together a show. His last State of the Union, I mean, it was absolutely riveting. absolutely riveting, full of amazing guest stars, and like you're just like, whoa, and surprises too, like when he gives Rush Limbaugh the Medal of Freedom, like, everybody was like crying and it was emotional. The guy's a showman. And even with those idiots in the white suits, the Democrats, like, they did this thing with the white suits, I think at the first State of the Union, and then they do it again. Like, it was so lame. It's like, at this point, don't wear the white suit again. It didn't work the first time. Just abandon this. Abandon this strategy. But anyhow, the internet is a strange place, and the Democrats don't seem to understand how it works yet, which is funny because you would have thought they were once the young party. These were the guys who figured out how to use TV. See, the Republicans didn't understand TV. That's why Nixon lost that time against Kennedy. He didn't understand television. He had to kind of spin himself up to be able to win that and change his image. It took the Republicans a long time to get on board with that. They kind of saw TV, like this. Oh yeah, TV. Yeah, it's a fun thing, but it's not for me. I guess it's partly because like people were more separated in that, you could be in a small town or a small state in the middle of nowhere and not be on TV. It was still kind of isolating. Now with the internet, everybody's connected to everyone sees everything, and people on the conservative side, they dominate YouTube, they dominate a lot of platforms. The only ones they don't dominate are ruined, like Twitter. They're trying to ruin YouTube. Facebook is kind of ruined. Tumblr was an absolute dumpster fire, and now it's not even that. These are just my opinions, so slow down. But why can't the Democrats meme? Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with that. Maybe it's just because they're dishonest now. Maybe it's because they're delusional and they're dishonest and they just don't see the writing on the wall. They just don't see it was time to change 10, 20 years ago. And, back in the 90s, you kind of changed. Clinton was like a new guy and you changed things up a little bit and that worked for you for a short time. But ultimately, you haven't changed since. And, all that money, all that media, all that presence, it's not doing you any good anymore. So enjoy night 2 of the DNC, I guess, and we'll see who gets more hits. I mean, quite frankly, the hits on the DNC are pretty damn low.